alchemy equals butterflies. Basically, alchemy is all about transformation and transmuting one experience into something else. Hey guys, Alexa B Alchemy here. What? Oh my god, I changed my name. Yes, I did. If you are new to my channel, welcome. I was previously known as Alexa B Health Coach. I have pivoted, my life has changed, I have transformed, I'm a fucking phoenix. So yes, my page and online presence had a makeover. I did not have the makeover, at least not today. Enjoy my natural look. So now, I am bringing to you a newer, fresher, more authentic vibe for where my life is at right now. So the purpose of this video is to explain why emotional alchemy is so important and what the emotional alchemy actually is, as well as why it's something that I have rebranded pretty much all of my stuff to be based around. So the definition of alchemy is a seemingly magical process of transformation, creation, or combination. I am primarily focusing on the transformation piece, and this is actually for multiple reasons. One of which being the last roughly 6 months of my life, I feel like I have been a butterfly. I have had spiritual experience after spiritual experience. I've had a lot of weird awakenings. My health has completely shifted. I've been through so many just like tumultuous things. It's been really exciting. But as with every gift, there's been also a lot of sacrifice, a lot of change, a lot of growth, and that is not always comfortable. And this is something that a lot of people need coaching through, they need support through, which is why Alexa B Alchemy, you're welcome. If you want to hire a life coach, or as I like to call myself now, a soul coach, reach out to me on Instagram. But shameless plugs aside, emotional alchemy is something that I have been really fascinated by for quite some time. So the process of emotional alchemy is basically transmuting emotions, whether they are negative, positive, or somewhere in between, into an energy that is useful for you and your growth in this life. And that can look like a lot of different things. But my favorite example, which I'm gonna use today, is anger. And I'm not saying that anger is the only emotion you can alchemize. It's just the one I want to focus on to explain what alchemy actually is. Anger is one of the most powerful energies that a human can ever experience. Granted, it can be extremely uncomfortable, and a lot of people actually shun anger and kind of make you feel bad for having it. And yes, anger can be super uncomfortable, but there's a really powerful reason why. It's the emotion that becomes so violently uncomfortable for us, no pun intended, if we do not address it, that we are pretty much forced into making a change of some kind. Whether that change is forgiveness, grudge holding, yelling, shutting down, whatever it is, this specific emotion almost always elicits a very tangible response in a lot of people. I'm gonna give you a very personal example that is very prevalent to my last 6 months of my life. I've had dreams of going to certain places in this world and living my life according to a certain way. And my whole life, I've had belief systems that basically blocked me from being able to get to those places or achieve those goals that I had set for myself. And I remember coming home one day and looking around at my surroundings and just being so furious. And it was terrifying because I realized how upset I was that for 10+ years of my life, I've had these kind of subconscious dreams and never really allowed myself to access my power to actually achieve those dreams. And that anger drove me to action. Ultimately, it was one of the best gifts that I had because I realized I've been really unhappy with the situation and I need to change it. I need to change something. So in this scenario, I was able to transmute anger into action. And where am I right now? I'm finally finding myself in a position where those are actually manageable, achievable, and honestly, I'm finally doing them. And so in this regard, anger was one of the strongest positive forces that I had because it enabled me to actually instill change. And this is not something that's just experienced on a personal level. Like a lot of really important movements, whether it was civil rights, BLM, etc., a lot of these movements are sparked by anger. And it is really unfortunate that there are situations that have to get to a point where that strong emotion is pulled up. But it's such a strong, raw emotion, and it is so extremely powerful. So the purpose of alchemizing that emotion is learning how to work with it as opposed to further shoving it down or acting like, oh, that emotion's not okay, I'm gonna ignore it, I'm gonna shove it under the rug, I'm gonna stick it in a little jar and throw it away. When you can actually accept those emotions and bring them into your body and say, okay, this is what I'm feeling right now. Emotional alchemy is about taking that emotion that's boiling inside of you, whether it's joy, anger, happiness, fear, and learning how the do I process this and how do I move through this so I can walk into or waltz or dance into the next chapter of my life and not feel like this emotion is what's controlling me or contracting me. Energy can inherently be expansive or contracting, and a lot of people were taught to contract away from them or to avoid them, sidestep them. So the whole purpose of what I'm really focusing on and kind of making my mission is learning to accept those as they come up, and again, learning how to alchemize them, transmute them, work with them instead of pushing them away so that we can deal with them at a more convenient time. In this process, we also learn how to transmute ourselves and our fucking lives. And it's a beautiful teacher so that we can understand, okay, what has served me in the past and what does not serve me now? What does not serve me moving forward into the next chapter? Pieces of us as humans are allowed to die. We are allowed to be rebirthed. We are allowed to rebirth ourselves. And anyone who tells you you can't change, you can't do things differently is full of shit. But it is also not always easy to change. And just like a little caterpillar going into the cocoon to become a butterfly, I don't know why I just did that so dramatically. There's a lot of energy involved in that process. There's a lot of patience involved in that process. And sometimes there's a lot of support involved in that process as well. So to all of my wonderful followers and to everyone who's maybe new to this page or new to my page or new to my energy, welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for bearing witness to this shift and kind of where I'm at on this. The exciting piece about what I know I'm walking into is that nothing ever stays the same. Change is pretty much the only guarantee in my life and pretty much everyone's life. And I'm excited to know that the work that I'm doing now is going to be actually focused on change. So if I change or my emotions change or my environment changes or my branding changes, it's still very much on brand because a lot of that just means accepting whatever shifts are happening in my life and moving into the next chapter. And if this resonates with you, if you feel like you're in a dark night of the soul, you're just come up on top of the world, you don't know what the f is going on, you're somewhere in between, all of those are totally okay. I absolutely love connecting with people who resonate with my journey, so please feel free to reach out, like the video, comment below, subscribe, click the notification bell, interact with all my shit. You can follow me on the gram, TikTok, and YouTube. I am under everything at alexab.alchemy. Thank you guys so much. Have a beautiful rest of your day, and I will see you soon. Bye!